begins.
To really get a legend, you gotta set the scene, right? I want you to picture a magical, literally freezing cold campfire setting. The source text kicks off in the wild frozen forests of North America, and we're introduced to a baby found right there in the harsh, snowy wilderness. But this isn't your average baby. The script describes an infant so impossibly large that his cries literally shook the earth beneath him. I mean, it's the perfect, dramatic hook for a campfire story. It immediately tells the listener, hey, the normal rules of reality, yeah, they just aren't going to apply here.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, Birth of a Legend, the Giant Lumberjack. So, that earth-shaking baby obviously didn't stay young forever. And what's really brilliant about this part is how the story highlights his scale by contrasting him with regular folks. Look at the comparison here. You've got normal lumberjacks doing incredibly grueling, back-breaking physical labor. And then you have Paul. He's not just a tall guy, he is actively towering over entire forests. While a normal logging crew spends days on a single tree, Paul is lifting full-grown trees as easily as if they were tiny wooden matchsticks. When he walks, he doesn't bother with bridges, he simply steps right over roaring rivers. And swinging his axe, the sheer force of it creates a sound that echoes exactly like a boom of thunder. You can just imagine the absolute disbelief of the regular logging workers who supposedly witnessed this giant among men.
But a hero like this needs a companion, right? Which brings us to Section 2. Enter Babe the Blue Ox, a massive companion. Let's move to and see how this builds in 3 distinct steps. According to the script, during one brutal winter, Paul stumbled across a strange little blue calf struggling in the deep snow. Step 1, Paul finds the freezing calf. Step 2, he rescues it, raises it, feeds it, and gives him the name Babe. But step 3 is where the magic really happens. Because just like Paul, Babe didn't stay little for long. The calf rapidly grew into a massive, towering blue ox, quite literally strong enough to pull entire forests behind him.
With our 2 gigantic heroes united, we arrive at Section 3, Shaping the Wilderness, Building America.
Paul and Babe didn't just, live in the landscape. Their sheer size fundamentally changed the geography of North America. Just look at the incredible landmarks attributed to them. Number 1, immense valleys formed simply by them walking by. Number 2, as Paul dragged his mighty axe, deep rivers were violently carved right through the earth. And number 3, wherever Babe's heavy hooves landed, the craters were so deep that lakes appeared. The folklore literally claims these 2 shaped much of the American wilderness itself, just by existing and moving through it.
So, looking at these towering feats, lifting forests, carving rivers, shaking the earth, it naturally leads us to a pretty massive question. Did Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox actually exist? I mean, did a giant lumberjack and his magical blue ox really terraform the North American continent? To answer that, let's jump to Section 4, Logging Camp Tall Tales and Campfire Stories. You see, the origins of this animated script actually trace back to historical logging camps filled with hardworking men, and this brilliantly illustrates exactly the kind of stories those men love to invent and share. Look at these specific, impossible feats. They'd say Paul cleared an entire forest before he even sat down for breakfast. No big deal, right? They claimed he was so large he had to use regular-sized pancakes as his dinner plates, and his axe was so incredibly heavy that it required an entire team of men just to lift and carry it to him. It's pure, unfiltered exaggeration.
So the crucial point is, everyone sitting around those campfires knew the absolute truth. These characters were never real. What we're looking at is the textbook definition of a tall tale, an unbelievably exaggerated story, completely understood by the audience to be false and told purely for fun around a campfire. Think about it. After a grueling, back-breaking day chopping wood in the freezing cold, these workers use these wildly exaggerated stories to entertain each other and just escape reality for a little while. But if everyone knew it was totally fake, why do we still care today? That brings us to our final section, why the legend lives on and its place in American folklore.
Fictional stories only survive if they mean something deeper to the people telling them, The source text points out 3 enduring human traits that Paul and Babe perfectly represent, which is why they've cemented themselves as a core part of American folklore. First, they are a boundless symbol of imagination, the ability of the human mind to dream up impossible, earth-shaking things. Second, they're a symbol of strength, reflecting the immense physical power it took for early workers to survive and build in that harsh wilderness. And third, they represent the ultimate spirit of adventure, that deep drive to walk across unknown lands and leave your mark on the world.
I want to leave you with this beautiful line directly from the script's narrator, because sometimes stories don't need to be real to feel larger than life. I want you to just visualize the final glowing shot of this story.
Picture Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox turning their backs to us, walking slowly into a brilliant, glowing forest sunset. And with every single step they take, they leave behind massive footprints that silently fill with water, turning into rivers that will remain long after they are gone.
And that's how legends are born. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. I really hope this deep dive into the tall tales of Paul Bunyan has sparked your own imagination, because it really makes you wonder, what impossible, larger-than-life tall tale might you invent around your own campfire tonight? Until next time,